Lightning in Florida ain't no joke.
No, I mean, lightning anywhere isn't a joke, but especially here in Florida, we get so many storms that have a lot of lightning, so we're dedicating this week to Lightning Awareness Week just to kind of create more awareness and a better understanding for lightning. So with that, how does lightning even form in the first place? No doubt your kids have probably asked that, right? So here we go. You've got a thunderstorm or a building cumulus clouds, and within those clouds you have currents of air flowing up and down. We call those updrafts and downdrafts. When you have precipitation in those clouds, that ice and the rain, they collide, and the collisions of the rain and the ice particles in the cloud, they actually cause the charges in the cloud to separate. And typically you get the negative charges that congregate and pool towards the bottom of the cloud. You get the positive charges at the top of the cloud. At that same time, you have a lot of positive charges collecting underneath that thunderstorm cloud, and the difference between those charges continues to grow as you get more of those negative and positive charges developing in the cloud and on the ground. Now, a stepped leader drops down from the bottom of the thunderstorm cloud, and I know it's hidden behind the bug, but positive charges will then rise up those taller objects. That's why we say stay away from tall things like light or flagpoles and tall buildings, because those positive charges go up those taller objects. The negative charges descend down from the thunderstorm cloud. That streamer of the positive charges goes up. The step leader then connects, and it creates that channel. And when that connection occurs, that's when you get lightning, and ultimately the thunder follows as well. But it's not just immediately under the thunderstorm cloud that you have the danger of lightning. Lightning can actually emit out the top of a thunderstorm cloud. We call that positive lightning, and that can strike over 15 miles away from that parent thunderstorm. You ever heard the term bolt from the blue? That's a positive lightning strike. Those are very, very dangerous for a lot of different reasons, one of which because you may not expect it because you're away from the thunderstorm. Again, though, when thunder roars, go indoors. Always, always, always safe to get inside and wait for that thunderstorm to clear out.